Hello, hello, and welcome to the Oh My God I'm Launching Podcast. I am your host, Ken Westgar, and today I have Monica with me. Welcome, Monica.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. So exciting.
Yes, I've been wanting to have you on the podcast for a really long time, but it's better late
It
than
didn't
never, I
happen.
guess.
It didn't happen. I thought I did it already, but you were my guest in my podcast.
Yeah, exactly. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Before we get into all of the juicy stuff with with launches and hearing a little bit about your journey, why don't you just let people know who you are, what you do, and how you help people.
Yes. So my name is Monica Vallero, and I don't like labels, but I usually label myself as a business coach for coaches and healers, and I'm also a hypnotherapist. But because I'm shying away from that, I just help people to build their profitable business from the ground up, coaches and healers specifically. Mindset coaches, manifestation coaches, transformational coaches, and life coaches. And I help them with creating an offer, high ticket program, and sell it out online so they can do that on repeat. So launching is my thing.
And is there any particular reason why you chose to go with those type of coaches versus regular business coach type still?
I do that because that's what I love the most. And because
Hmm.
through my work, I see a ripple effect of changing the world. I wouldn't want to work. I mean, I could help, somebody who does Instagram reels, right,
Hmm.
and create a course on that. But I will not. I'm not really inspired by that, and so I want to help people who I am inspired by. And because I used to be a transformational coach and hypnotherapist, and I built my business through that, and I want to do it. I'm doing the same with other people too.
Hmm. And you feel
Yeah,
like that's well, well, let's dive into that then.
yeah,
When we do launches, do you feel like that has helped you with your launches in terms of messaging, building out the offer, just because you are so passionate about helping those kind of people or those kind of
definitely.
coaches?
Oh, definitely. But especially, what helped me because I went through it. I know
Hmm.
a lot of coaches out there, they want to do something that I haven't experienced. And that's why their messaging is a little weaker,
Hmm.
because they haven't done that. Now, I'm not telling you that you can't do something. Of course, you can do anything that you want, right? And you just have to claim it. You are
Yeah.
wanting to be a transformational coach, but you're not yet, just claim it and you're starting and you can do it. You don't have to know all the steps of the way. But it all comes to personal experience and personal transformation. And that's why I'm so passionate about this. And when you're passionate about something, it becomes part of your why. Your why is not only because you want to make money, you want to help your family, you want to help your kids. Yes, that's your biggest why. But it also has to be something very powerful that makes you get up every morning and work on it, or every night when the kids are asleep,
Hmm.
right? And only the money or be an example for your kids, which is amazing. That's one of my why. But it's much more powerful when you have the not just the passion but the purpose. That's
Hmm.
why I love helping people with the purpose, living and experiencing and their full potential, their purpose.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And what is your deeper
My
purpose?
purpose, well,
Hmm.
is to help people to help other people. So people with gifts, because we all have gifts,
Hmm.
right? And so recognizing what that is and helping them becoming profitable and also helping other people. Because I was stuck 2 years not making money with my business. And I knew I had a lot to offer, but I didn't know how. I was part of many business courses, many online how to build a course on building a course. That's why I had a lot of resistance about being a business coach or helping people creating a course because I didn't want to be one of them or
Hmm.
marketer. I don't consider myself a marketer, although I know a lot about marketing, right?
Hmm.
I consider myself as someone who helps people to get their business off the ground from 0 to 10, 20K, whatever they want to make with their first beta, with their first launch, and do that on repeat. Because talking about launching, I launched so many times to cricket, like crick, crack, crack, so many times. And that's not fun. I've been burnt out so many times as well. And I was about to give up. I had to decide or to find a regular job or to do things differently and letting go of what I thought I knew and letting go of what people were telling me that it was the right thing because I was a great student. I did all the things. But you have to find your own way also because now business is the same. So I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm so passionate about, helping people transform other people's lives, because
Mm-hmm.
it pains me when I see, oh, I've tried that, or I put my offer out there for $97 and I sold 2 units. Okay, how are you going to pay your bills? You still have to have a 9 to 5, or you still have to create more offers, and you're making your life busy all the time with new things and new creating, doing that. What is the point of living? Yes, you're living your purpose, but what about your family? What about you traveling if it's that what you're desiring? What about living in the present moment, getting bored, because we don't get bored anymore, like doing
Yeah.
nothing, you know? And one of the things that you're familiar with, I'm sure that became my motto, is the less I do, the more I make.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to make a plan for it, meaning that it's not true that if you don't do anything, you're gonna make a lot of, you're gonna make millions. Okay, I'm gonna stay on
Yeah.
my couch today. But it has to be intentional.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to be intentional, you need to do the right strategies. Now, I'm talking about strategies, but I also, for example, include hypnotherapy and a lot of deep mindset work with my clients, because that is the base of it all. And a lot of people, I work with mindset coaches, they know the work. It's not that they don't. But it's much deeper than that when you work at a subconscious level. Because you probably know, you've been part of a lot of other courses, that there's only a small percentage of people who have results.
Mm-hmm.
And I always wonder why.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? And I heard somebody say only 5% of people have, success, business success. I'm like, okay, why? Is it because what they're doing? No. Is it because how they look? No. Is it because they're go-getters? No, because I'm a go-getter. I used to work, I don't know, 20 hours per day. My daughter was just born. I'm like, why? Like breastfeeding her, and I couldn't make money. And my husband was like, okay, you can stay home for a little bit, but then what are we going to do?
Mm-hmm.
I need to figure this out. And I remember I had my first client 7 weeks postpartum. And I was like, okay, great. And then crickets again. I couldn't have a workflow. And so going back to why only a small percentage of people have results, there are different factors, right? That I've studied these past years, and the why. So the number one thing is because there's a lack of trust and execution. Like it's too hard to do the work. So, and there's a part of self-sabotage coming in,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
fear of failure, fear of success, especially, which is something that not
100%.
a lot of people are familiar with.
Yeah.
Oh, of course I want to make millions. And then they don't do the work, or they do the work energetically that is not translating into, it's not attracting clients,
Mm-hmm.
right?
It's repelling them. Yeah.
Exactly. I actually talked to a lady the other day. We just had a conversation. It's like, I actually talk people out of it. I don't know what's going on. Okay, let's work on it, And that's why working on money mindset is one of the things that I do very well, because I worked on my mindset too. I come from a poor family in Italy, so I had to work a lot on it. And so that is the percentage, one of the factors that determines if you are successful in business or not. But really working on not just the mindset, because it's a very overrated word to me,
Yeah.
but really understanding why you're not showing up, why are you sabotaging yourself, or what is the intention of the things that you're doing. Like, for example, posting. Oh, I've been posting every day for a month, it's not working. Okay. How are you posting? What are you posting, right? And then, of course, the strategy and the energetics are so important. The selling part of it. If you don't know how to sell, not just because of the script, right, the things that you're saying, but the energy behind it. If you come from a place of desperation, gotta pay my rent, which I've been there, right? Nobody's gonna pay. Nobody's gonna buy, right? Because they're like, I don't want to work with. I don't know what's going on with you, but I don't want to give you my money, right? And then the other percentage is that, maybe you are in a place where your answers never get answered. These huge groups where like, okay, I'm stuck with this. I'm stuck with my niche, right? I'm stuck with my messaging. Can somebody help me? And you don't get personalized help. That's one of the things that I've experienced in the past. And of course, sometimes it's the type of coach that is not your person. I believe that when you're picking somebody, it's like building a relationship, right? Whether or not you're working one-on-one with your coach. you need to feel that person. It's like going on a date, and then you go on a date. Okay, I think I want to be committed to this person. Let me see what's going on. And so that's why for me, inner work with the marketing and energetic, my trifecta method is so important. That's how I help people get results.
Yeah, you touched on a lot of great points, so I don't even know where to start. But yeah, you mentioned a lot of things about energy around how you show up and all of that, and obviously, if you're coming from a place of fear, fear of judgment in particular, because I think a lot of people have that type of fear, showing up and be afraid of being judged. That obviously sends off a really bad energy. And just like you said, when you put that energy out in the world, you may not be aware of it, but the people on the other side will pick up on that. And it's really like an invisible language, I like to say, that you can't really see that it's happening, but it's really happening. And I really love that you touched upon that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I was there, I was trying to get all excited, but my energy was like, please, I need to make money this month. But how do you let go of that desperation? Unpumpable. Like, you don't touch it, you don't see it, but there is, right? Once you do have to pay rent, because this is the truth, right?
It is.
So what I tell people, because I hear a lot of people saying, well, I quit my job, I'm going to go full in with this, but I have savings for another month. Awesome. Because you only have plan A, right? You don't have a plan B. But I've done that for 20 years in my previous career, which is acting and stand up and producing and all that. I was in the entertainment world. That's why from Italy I moved to Hollywood. But I realized that if you have a plan B and C and Z, you're more relaxed. You're still working on your plan A fully, 1,000%. You believe it no matter what is going to happen. But you have a safety net of your money that you can pay rent with. You're not relying on that client, because if you're desperate, you're attracting the wrong people, and the wrong people are not doing the work. They're asking you for refunds. Even if you're, on your contract or in your agreement, you said no refunds, they're going to be a pain in the neck. And you don't want to work with those people, especially if you are having and selling a high ticket program. That's what I teach my clients with. Like, there's a lot of people who are making a lot of money with a 97, 197, 297, great. But for me, it's all about creating a bigger impact to someone and helping them to make the investment so they can rechange their lives, whether it's, for my case, for example, transforming their business inside out, like from the inside out, like as a person becoming a leader in their own lives. Whether my clients are, for example, one of my clients, she's a intuitive grief coach, and she's helping widows and widowers find life after death. And that's from, like, it just makes, when she talks, I just cry, because I just love that so much, and so whatever it is that you're selling, that's important that you have that safety net, in my opinion, that it doesn't put you in the desperation mode, let's say.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's this kind of energetic block, you can't really see the opportunities that's right in front of you, because you're so desperate to get this money, and you have to have it. So you could be standing, with tons of opportunities right in front of you, but you just can't see
you don't see them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right, exactly. Right, exactly.
But you said also that you launched 2 crickets.
A
few times.
Many times.
Yeah. How has that shaped you, in the sense of, you obviously, you're not launching 2 crickets anymore. So
no, thankfully not, because I teach others not to do that, right?
Good.
So I tell you how it went, and I tell you what changed.
Yeah.
So I did almost all the type of launches that you're familiar with. The 5-day challenge. I did it for moms. I was like Mamas in Charge. That was my Facebook group and my program. And then a few people joined. And then there was like the 3rd day, nobody joined. And I lost my voice.
Oh.
And I was like, I can't, and it was postpartum, right? So I was like, I can't, I just want to stay in bed with my baby. I can't do this. My husband told me, well, you have two choices, or give up or keep going.
Mm-hmm.
People are gonna might watch the replay, right? And I kept doing it, but it left me depleted. It left me
Mm-hmm.
like, what's the point of all this? Why I'm working so much for something that, and then I did the webinar so many times. And I follow all the steps of my business coaches, right? Of the people that I work, I follow step by step.
Mm.
And I did that. So what the problem there were the three problems that I just described. The first problem, energetically, I needed the money.
Mm-hmm.
Second problem, messaging and niche. Too broad, too out there.
Mm-hmm.
Live the life of your dreams. Be in charge of what? Of what, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why I love working with people who used to be me, because I
Mm-hmm.
know what they mean.
Yeah.
But if it's not tangible, people will not give you the money for that. It's a nice to have,
Mm-hmm.
but people will
Gotta get
not pay you for
specific.
that. You got to get specific. But people think that specific is like, yeah, but then you feel, you feel better. That's not
Mm-hmm.
specific.
No,
Feel better
that's not what we're
what?
looking for. Yeah.
No. And also it's very important, the tangible part. That's why a lot of
Mm-hmm.
mindset coaches and transformation coaches, there's not, yeah, but it's a different for everybody. Exactly. Narrow it down. The more you niche, the more you're rich, right? That's what they
Mm-hmm.
say. The more you're broad, the more you're broke. So, and then you can always expand it a little bit, of course, but
Yeah.
it's important that people see you as the expert for that thing. And I wasn't the expert. I was just like mimicking kind of what I thought I had to do and seeing other people that I was looking up to
Mm-hmm.
and making my own. And that didn't really work. So that, and so my messaging and the energetics and my mentality, like it's not, I'm tired and burned
Mm-hmm.
out.
Mm-hmm.
What else can I do? Because I don't want to live this life. Like if I go to a 9 to 5, it's easier, right? I don't
Yeah.
want to go to a 9 to 5, but it's going to be easier.
Mm-hmm.
So how can I make it easier? I'm not saying to work less, or maybe like now, for example, I only work 4 hours, sometimes 3, because I am pregnant, by the way. And so I need to
Congratulations.
take, thank you, I need to take a nap. Now,
Yeah.
do I accomplish everything in 3 hours per day? No. But sometimes when my husband comes back home at night, like from 6 to 7, he's cooking, and I
Mm-hmm.
work on my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have my Thursday coaching call with my clients. They are regenerating me, like they're making me like in a completely different mood. I'm so happy. Like that is my purpose. So what I had to do, I had to, hire more people because I couldn't understand it by myself. And it's important that somebody shed the light, even if we know everything, quote unquote, we
Mm-hmm.
don't know everything. Every coach needs a coach. Let's be honest here. Actually, multiple ones. I think I'm going to hire somebody else soon because we don't know what we don't know, right? We can download all the freebies and watch all the trainings, and some trainings are better than others because you learn new things, or and maybe that course that you bought is not right for you. Maybe working with that coach that was not right for you. So the investment that you put on yourself, which is hard because you are not making money, how can you generate more money to invest again in yourself, right? That's why having a little cushion, a little pillow, it's important. I had to work more on my mindset, on my money blocks, because I thought I healed all that. I mean, come on, I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, so of course, right? Nope. I had to work more on it. And I realized, for example, one of the things I'm like, oh my goodness, that making more money would have meant in my subconscious mind, giving it away to my family. They would have asked me for more.
Right.
So unconsciously, I didn't want to make more because I had to work hard and they're not working hard. So why would I? And now I'm like, wait a second. If I make more, why can't I give it to them? Who cares? Right? But I had to work through that because it was keeping me stuck. So that was one of the things. To ease my workflow only on the things that worked. Instead of doing it all, only do a few things, like reversing engineer your goal, right? Your launch or whatever that is. But really do the minimal essential. Like I hire a VA for a year, landing pages, and a lot of work. But sometimes the easier you make it, the better.
Hmm.
Your brain really gets like cleans up from all that clutter. I had to get, clean my brain up from all that clutter and simplify all that. And now, of course, understanding my niche and
Yeah.
my messaging. So for a long time, I was talking about beautiful words, transformation, change the life as you want of your dreams, abundant, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, let me get specific. So I narrowed down then to my own story. And that's what I help my clients with, and that's what makes you unique, leveraging my your uniqueness as
Hmm.
an immigrant here in the United States, for example. What I had to go through, the things that I had to go through from victim to leader mentality, right? And the things that I've achieved, recognizing also what I have achieved, working on my imposter syndrome, which is something that I have to say this, all of us, we go through it. Even people who are 10-figure entrepreneurs, they go through it. So don't worry if you're listening to
Yeah.
this and you're going through. Actually, I went through it a few months ago again. I had nightmares that translated into nightmares because
Hmm.
I leveled up my business and I took more commitments. Like I did something that before I was launching, like 8-week course or 3 months, whatever, and now I'm doing a more of a evergreen thing. And I was like, can I really do this? Like, of course you can, Monica. No, you can. These little voices in your head. But I had to work through that a lot.
Hmm.
And when I changed my messaging and work on my confidence in, you know, you don't need to know it all. You don't need to sell, oh, I made 1 million per month. Do you wanna know how before I make it paid? Like that's what I did. I can do it for you. I don't wanna be like them. I am
Yeah.
not like them. And that's okay. And not that because they are wrong, that's great. But I didn't want to be associated with them, with people who are like that, who are using that type of messaging. And I realized, well, I don't have to, and I was like,
Exactly.
oh, I don't have to. But like I coach myself into like, you can be you,
Hmm.
and then you're going to repel some people, you're going to attract some people. I recently talked to 20 coaches this month, and I only made a sales call, like a follow-up call, to two of them. One joined and the other didn't have the funds, and we'll talk in the future, that's fine. But out of 20, only two, because I don't work with everybody,
Hmm.
and I don't need their money. Even if I will get to a point of finding another job, which thankfully hasn't been that thought happening in a long time.
Hmm.
But I don't want to work with you if you're not the right fit, you know?
Yeah.
But I love talking to people. That's why I changed my launch approach. I teach my people different ways to launch,
Hmm.
you know, and they decide. But I also give them the opportunity to launch the way I do, meaning that I do not launch anymore. I mean, I do soft launches, meaning that I have an evergreen program. It's like a membership, but
Yeah.
it's much more than that. It's not like a $36 or whatever. It's like a program that you pay once and then you're in it forever.
Hmm.
And then I do webinars here and there, or master classes, or no pitch trainings, and they can join at any time. So I took the pressure off also that way. Uh, is this you or is this me?
I'm not hearing anything.
Oh, okay, great. Let me take Facebook off. You can edit this out. Okay.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, that's what changed.
Yeah. I picked up on one thing that you said about following the step by step that the other coaches or experts were kind of
Mhm.
guiding you or telling you to do within their programs and stuff like that. And I just want to see if this resonates with you as well, because I think, and that may be correlated to the people who are not getting the results and all that stuff too, because I feel like there's no one size fits all
Mhm.
when it comes to these courses. And that being said, the experts, the gurus, whatever, they have done their job and it absolutely worked for them, and it would most certainly work for a lot of other people.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it works for everyone. And I
Right.
think that is probably why we see a lot of people don't get that success, because they're trying
Sure.
so hard to do exactly what they're being taught. But what they
Yeah.
should have been is more take like the bits and pieces that would work for them and kind of mold it
Hmm.
into something that would actually work for them.
Couldn't agree more. That's absolutely the right thing to explain that
Mm-hmm.
way, for sure. And I have clients who are making more money than me, and I'm like, oh, you go, girl. Like, I work with my women, men and women, but particularly one, I'm like, oh my goodness, really? Like, I'm waiting for her testimonial, but she tripled her income. I'm like, okay, you're making more money than me. That's amazing. Like, I need to use this. I'm more excited about showing off my clients than showing off my own life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't share how much money I make. I know maybe I should, because people are like, oh, I want to see what you did. But it's not about that.
Yeah.
Yes, it's about money, but it's about the impact that you want to make. It's about building your business. And through that, through money, through impact, then you're going to live the life that you truly want, the
Mm-hmm.
life of purpose, right? So, yeah, I completely agree with you. And that's why I was stuck for a long time in these business courses that I bought, because my niche and messaging were not clear, even if I asked for help, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and maybe, I didn't launch to crickets all the time. I got a few here and there, like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this thing is working, and then it didn't work anymore. You're like, oh, I
Right.
found the key, and you got a
And then
couple
you
of
lost it.
clients, and then you lost. And you create a whole program for two people, and then you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But it comes really true to the point of building relationships with people. To me, at least, especially when it's high ticket. And high ticket, I
Mm.
talk about $1,000 up.
Yeah.
And I also think that selling on a webinar, a 1997 course, it's not working like it used to in 2012, 14, which I didn't start my business back then. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I did, but actually I
Mm-hmm.
don't, because I do things differently now, and that's totally fine. We are where we are in our journey, right? Um, I think that people got smarter, quote unquote, but they have so many choices. And when you are dating, I always reference to dating, right? When you, back in the days, there was not TV, there was no Tinder, and who did you date? The person that you saw at church or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or your neighbor, whatever. Now you're like, nope, because I can date you, but then I'm gonna date you, and you have so many choices, and then you become numb to it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, which one should I pick? Everybody's trying to sell me, right? Oh, I have a lot of choices of, man, which one? Everybody wants to take me on a date, so I'm not gonna pick anybody. You know what I mean? Or
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with everybody. So I feel that building the relationship, and you can do it also in a webinar. That's why I love getting on a call with people. Call it sales call it discovery call it light bulb call, strategy call. Sometimes I don't even sell, because if the person is not a fit, I'm not even saying, hey, would you like to know how I can help you? I don't say that phrase. But really, I love those conversations, because I had one like last week. One of my new client enrolled, and she just cried, saying thank you for this opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying not to cry right now, because I know that I'm hormonal and pregnant, but it's just the most beautiful feeling in the world. One of the most beautiful feelings in the world, when somebody says, oh my gosh, why didn't I meet you before?
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a match made in heaven, because you feel that it validates what you're doing. And we all need validation. I'm not talking about social media, likes, and validating that what you're doing is needed
Mm-hmm.
is really the best feeling ever, you know?
Yeah. And it sounds
Yeah.
to me like at some point you found out that you should basically listen a little bit more to your intuition, follow that intuition in terms of what you should be doing, because you try to follow
Yeah.
everyone else's
Yeah.
thing, but then you kind of stopped and started listening to, okay, well, no, I don't want to do this. I want to do what I want to do.
What do I really want?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm good at? I didn't know I was good as a business coach before, because I never done it. I don't have a master's degree, or I didn't know, and I didn't want to be associated with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like a success coach, whatever, which didn't bring me any money, of course. But I'm not even business coach. Like, it's not about labeling yourself, right? But then I started doing it for free while having my clients, right, for hypnotherapy and transformation. And then I saw, oh my gosh, I'm really good at this. Like, oh, she's having, like, I had a conversation with one person the other day, was 3 weeks ago. Didn't sell her anything. We had a conversation. We'll touch base in the future. But I gave her a little tweak, like a little, because she said, I can't convert people on a call. I can't convert them into my program. And they say yes, yes, and then they don't. Mm-hmm. So I explained to her how the brain works. I told her, well, they do that because our brain tricks us not to invest in ourselves because it's freaking scary. So you have to give them the urgency to do it now. Not with a false scarcity, urgency, whatever, because a lot of people, oh, if you don't do it now, you will never be successful. Not like that, but, incentivize them, like give them a little, if you do it now, there's something like, for example, a discount, or which I'm not for discounts usually, but that is a little reward for the person. But you're not doing it for you. You're doing it for them. You're fighting for them in that moment.
Yeah.
When I hear like sometimes objections, which, please, I'm here for it. Let's talk through it, right? Mm-hmm. But if I truly want the person, I'm really honest and I'm like, in this moment, I'm fighting for you. But I can't fight alone, And when a lot of them cry and, like, holy cow, I totally get what you're saying, because our minds, when we have to invest in ourselves, like, oh, I don't have the money. Nobody has money for coaching. Who has got the money for coaching? Unless you went through many times, right? But I don't work with seasoned entrepreneurs who are making 6 figures already. I'm working with those who have few clients here and there, or don't have clients, or work with testimonials, or maybe they launched, they had success, and then that's it. That's who I work with, right? And so I told her what to do, and she texted me. I was at the beach the other 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago. I was at the beach, and she said, oh, by the way, thank you so much, because I closed a couple of clients because of what you told me. And she's not even a client. I'm like, yes, this made my day. Yay, So, yeah, that's my purpose.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really describe that feeling when you get that kind of feedback from your clients, or not clients, even, just people that you come across and, gave some encouraging words, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. And suggestions, like people say, oh, if you don't sell the how, only the why and the what. I don't agree with that. I do not agree with that. Of course, in 30 minutes call, 20 minutes, or in a video, how can you transform somebody's lives? You can't, really. But if you can take them from point A to point B instead of Z, because Z is working with you, right? They're going to be like, holy cow, can help me just by saying this couple of things to me. Imagine what it is working with them.
Mm-hmm. And it's just a matter of, pointing out a few things that they might have, crossed their mind, but you kind of shed some light on it. It's like, oh, yeah, that's right. That's true. Mm-hmm. I have thought about it, but I, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So let's be generous.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. And I think we are just, the whole sales call thing can be so, it has to be a sale. You have to get that sale. But I mean, if you just show up on that call wanting to help that person take at least one step forward.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if they sign up with you or not, but just knowing that you actually push them one step in the right direction.
Yeah,
it's a whole lot.
Yeah. It might not be now. Maybe they're going to work with you in the future, or maybe never. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because when you have your safety net, it doesn't matter if you also work with that client or not. Mm-hmm. Right? And some clients are not ready to work with you now, or with me. They're not ready to work with us now because who knows? Many reasons, So.
Yeah. And it's the same thing, with buying courses or whatever. If you're selling that, I mean, you can't force people to buy that course from you.
Yeah.
They are in control. They make that decision. Mm-hmm. All you can do is pretty much, help them, influence them in some kind of way to make that decision on their own, but they still have to make that decision.
Exactly. They're in charge of everything, right? So, like, we are in charge when we are buying courses. Like I remember I was on a sales call with one of the sales rep of this big person, and I was like, I might need somebody, but I'm not ready to buy right now. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
um, but let me get on a sales call with this person just to see how they sell because I'm gonna learn, right?
Right.
So I did that, and it was the best, most amazing call. And I was like, what is the investment? So he told me, and it was like a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
like a lot. And I was like, I don't know how, but let me talk to my husband. Let me figure this out. I'm gonna make it
Mm-hmm.
happen because this is the best. Like, oh wait, don't I have to buy now? No, you don't have to buy now. What? Can I do it in a couple of days? Yes, you can. Oh, really? Like, and I'm not forced into anything? No. And I was like, this is the best call I ever had, you know? And we're still in touch. It doesn't work anymore for the other person. And he got his own thing. And it's just, that's how I want to talk to people. This
Mm-hmm.
is what I have. Do you want to work with me or not? That's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay. You know? And that's why I believe, like, when you do a webinar, I don't do challenges anymore, at least for now. It's a lot of work. And I've done so many. I also don't like webinars where it's just a sales pitch. You know, you have like, okay, these are the three things that you need to do. One, two, three. They don't explain it. And then it's a whole sales pitch of their course. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about the presentation of your course. Even if I need it, what can you help me with now? Because I don't have a lot of time, right? But now people are, again, changing this a little bit. They are not afraid to teach
Mm-hmm.
that much anymore. Um, and so that's why I'm a fan of this is the training, the true training that will help you really take a step forward, but not just one step, like multiple steps. Then, if you want to work with me, here's the link. Maybe we can have a chat. At the end, you have the chance to do it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Totally up to you, you know.
Yeah.
Um, it doesn't have to be launching doesn't have to be fancy, but it has to be worthwhile for that person. It can
Mm-hmm.
also be like on your Instagram or Facebook, like a live without sales page. If it's something that I truly need, oh, I want to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Please help me. If the pain that I'm going through is big and you have my solution, you kidding me right now? Like, let's do it. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can totally relate to the, because I personally also need just a couple of days to think things over. I might get excited right then and there, but
Yeah.
then I need just,
Yeah.
let things sink in, think it
Settle.
over. Yeah. And I want to respect that for other people as well. I don't want to
Absolutely.
push you into something that you really don't want to do. And that wouldn't benefit me either. So why would you want to do that?
Absolutely. But I see a lot of people are scared of sales calls, which I used to be as well. So
That's
if you're a
because we've
listener,
been taught, the old way.
exactly. They always sales
Hmm.
car people, right? So if you're a listener and you're wanting to invest in whatever it is, maybe as a relationship coach, I don't know, whatever it is, just get on a call with that person. Because if you're in this podcast, listening to this podcast, probably you are somebody who wants to launch or has launched, right? So you're an entrepreneur and really get on a call with that person just to see how they do it. So you know what not to do or what to do. Like I did it. Well, I ended up buying that, the program from that person. But I went on a lot of other sales calls where I was like, it's not for me. Thank you.
Hmm.
And don't be afraid to say this is not the right fit, but I truly appreciate you, appreciate your help. It's okay to say no. Don't feel that you have to say, yes, or don't feel that you're going to say, I'm going to think about it and then you ghost. The person in front of you, we have a thick skin now, by now. So it's
Should
okay if
have.
you say no. It's okay. You can say no. So I invite you to just like be curious about what people have to offer. If it's something that resonates with you, of course,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah. It's better to just be upfront with it and just say, I don't think we're a good fit. So, but thank you. Instead of
Yeah.
coming up with some excuses that, I can't afford it. It's not,
Yeah.
right time.
Yeah.
Blah, blah,
And sometimes they don't even know it's that.
Yeah.
Like they can't afford it because even $1 will be too expensive for them to buy because of like if you're selling me how to, I don't know, pet dogs, I don't have a dog, so I don't need it. So yeah, I just love our job, man. I really love
Yeah.
it.
So true. I want to just quickly circle back to something that you said, that you, when you help your clients launch, you said
Hmm.
that they do all different kinds of types of launches, and you let them choose by themselves, which I think is such a good way to do it, because there's, again, no one size fits all. Not
Hmm.
everybody wants to do a webinar, and it wouldn't work for them either, maybe. So
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about that and how you approach that.
Well, I teach webinars because that's what I do and that's what works for me.
Right.
But I say, hey, you can also do a challenge or something else, but it's never the approach to the type of launch, it's the
Hmm.
approach to the type of program. That what I would give more of a choice, meaning that I work with a lot of healers, for example,
Hmm.
and they're used to one-on-one. And when you're helping somebody heal, the one-on-one part is really important. So when you create a course, I also help them to create a hybrid. For example, they can do the program, the 8, 6, whatever week program, and then maybe they can offer a one-on-one with their clients.
Hmm.
I don't offer that, but they can choose. How does it feel? And that's why I talk on our coaching calls. Like I talk to them, and I don't have a huge group, and I don't even want a huge group because I want to support them one on one within the container. Because what I see is that being in a program, you have bigger results. And what I mean is that they still have basically the one on one support with me,
Hmm.
right? Because not everybody's showing up all the time at all
Right.
calls, right? And so they have that one on one, but they also created a community. It's like almost family,
Hmm.
you know. And also they open up differently because we do also the healing part. They all have, it's all recorded, but they also have support from me directly live, and the Facebook group where I answer their questions every day, so they are never left alone.
Right.
So going back to your question, how do you do that? Like I tell them, how long does it take you to help them have the transformation? 6 weeks, well, the majority 6 months. Okay, let's shorten that up a little bit so it can be more scalable. uh, can you do it, 8 weeks, maybe having the recording and do the coaching call? So I help them figure out the pricing and the type of program that they're going to launch.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, I have people who are not tech savvy at all, and it doesn't matter how they launch through a webinar. I do all organic, by the way. I
Hmm.
don't do Facebook ads until they hit 10K per month. I suggest not to do ads because I lost a lot of money in the past because the messaging was not right. And how
Right.
do you test your messaging? Through launching organically first. Because if people around you and through your content in your sphere, in your social media don't buy that, maybe they're not the right one. But chances are their messaging is wrong, or your niche, right? Both. So um, it doesn't really matter how they launch. I love the webinar because it's the easiest. I just copy and paste. I do another webinar, maybe something different, and I just change slides. I want to make my life easier. I don't
Hmm.
even have a sales page. I get on a call with people and I vet them. I decide if they're right for me, and they decide if I'm right for them. You
Hmm.
know, I know that for a lot of people, maybe I turn them off because I have an accent. I make mistakes in English. I don't care. Other people are like, "Oh my gosh, I love that. You're real. Tell me more." So maybe some people I know that they want to work with super successful coaches, let's say, quote unquote, because success is always personal, who are making 1 million per month. Great, go with them.
Hmm.
I don't teach you all the marketing and funnels. I teach you marketing and funnels, and you can pick which one is right for you. But a very simple one strategy that you can tweak whatever you want. But the simplest to jumpstart your business and get your beta off, and then repeat that and repeat that and repeat that. You can do it evergreen like I do. You can launch the way you want. You can do a hybrid. You can do whatever you want.
Hmm. Yeah.
And that's it. And
And
that's
yeah,
it.
like you said, keeping it simple. You don't
Yeah,
have to, like you said, you don't have to have that sell page if you don't
exactly.
want to.
Exactly. Exactly. Or maybe you do. Maybe you do
Yeah,
and that
maybe you
works
do.
for
I
you,
mean, yeah, totally.
So, yeah,
It's totally up to you.
exactly.
Before we wrap up this, is there something that you feel like you should have mentioned that we haven't got a chance to cover yet?
Hmm. No, but if you are curious about how to create and launch your online course, high ticket online
Hmm.
course, even if you don't have that, already, only if you have an idea, even better, and you're curious to know how to fast track it without launching to crickets. So to get you to that 0 to 10, 20, whatever it is in 60 days, because that's what I help my clients with. We are going to put a link in the show notes. Yes.
Yep. I'll
Awesome.
do that.
Oh, and also, yeah, something that I forgot to mention. I started my YouTube channel, guys.
All
Yay!
right.
So Monica Vallero, 2 L's. And yeah, that's taking a lot of my time, but I just love it because it's like long form content where
Right.
I can talk more instead of like pointing through reels,
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, because a lot of the other content is short, like
Super
really
short.
short. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
But yeah,
True.
some of us do like to talk, so
I know.
YouTube's
I
better
let's do
choice.
both. I love to do both,
Yeah.
right? So, but I know that social media has all been changing, and I feel that YouTube is a steadier
Mhm.
as a social whatever platform.
Well, it is
So
what it is. I mean, it hasn't changed too much as some of the other platforms has. It
yeah,
still is video.
yeah. But as far as the algorithm, I see like Instagram changed a lot, and then Facebook, and then there's TikTok. Blah, blah, blah. It's a lot. So
It's a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
But again,
Awesome.
let's simplify it. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so you can find Monica on YouTube, her new
Monica
channel.
Vallero, yeah.
Any other
TikTok as
place?
well.
TikTok?
Instagram, I'm not every day on Instagram like I used to. Sometimes, but just my name, Monica with a C, Valero 2 L's. And yeah, mostly on YouTube though. That's my favorite spot to hang out.
Yeah.
And please, if you listen to this, let me know what you thought about this episode. What were your takeaways? If you have any questions, I'm here to reply them.
Awesome. We'll link up
Yes.
everything in the show notes. And I
Yes.
want to say thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your expertise and knowledge and
Thank you.
experience.
I truly appreciate you, and it's always fun talking to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for everybody who's been listening in. Take care.
Bye.